Good evening and welcome everyone. Welcome Salil. Yesterday, a great game of cricket. We didn't cover the end session, but we sure saw it at home and it was fantastic. Okay, 119 for 3. What did you make of the last session, Salil?
Last session, I would feel that England really stuck to their guns. They continued what their openers did. They lost just that one wicket due to some brilliant bowling by Mohammad Shami, but otherwise, I think the session was owned by England. It was only India's to lose yesterday.
Siraj bowled really well. He picked up a couple of wickets just in the start of that session. In the
Yeah,
first two balls, if I'm not wrong, he picked up 2 wickets in 2 balls and he was on a hat trick as well. So the way he
yeah.
bowled, he was he was having a plan in his mind. And the way he bowled, he was really attacking the stumps, Salil. So you think that
Yeah.
spell really brought a lot of positive thought in the Indian bowlers and they also followed his footsteps?
Well, actually, I feel Siraj was given the ball and he did a great job with it. He stuck to his strengths, which
Yeah.
is bringing the bowling full and swinging the ball late and bringing the ball in to the batsman. And that's how we got Hamid out.
Oh,
Purely
what a
that
wicket.
would be an act of inspiration for the other bowlers, but which really failed to capitalize. I feel Bumrah and Ishan Sharma failed to capitalize. But all in all, a good performance by Siraj and Mohammad Shami, who I feel got less overs to bowl yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. Even I think the same thing, Salil. And if you have a look at the scorecard as well, Salil, here, you can see that the English batsmen, just like you said, they took a very cautious approach. They haven't lost a wicket since Rory Burns got out. Johnny Bairstow is out there. You have
Yeah.
to give credit to Joe Root. The fact that he's been playing once again, standing there as a wall for his team, Salil. How good is
Well,
he in English
yeah.
conditions?
Well, if you see the scorecard, Joe Root's batting on 48 not out of 75 balls. Now you wonder whether he's really trying to save his wicket for the team or he's trying to score runs. They're scoring at an extremely brilliant pace. I mean, they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
23 lost at T, and they ended up 119 for three in 45 overs. So that just gives you an idea that in 30 overs they scored almost 100 runs. That's more than three and over, which means maybe they went there to save their wickets, but they ended up getting runs. And the only way the runs would really leak out would be if your bowlers are not really doing the right job for you.
Right.
And that also depends on one, the bowler, two, the captain who's giving those instructions. For example, if you see for Joe Root, the field was quite different. There were two fielders on the leg side along with a square leg. You wanted to really strap him for runs and try to get him out LBW, but playing on the legs is his strength. So he didn't give away as many runs on that side, but also because you have extra fielders on the leg side, you've removed a couple of fielders from the slips and one odd ball that flies from the slip side which is not taken which will make you regret. And that's exactly what
Right.
happened of so he was not having the best line to bowl yesterday. He was not bowling good enough on fuller on the good length,
Yeah.
and it was making the batsman really easy to play and pick them off. I mean, Rory Burns was looking quite comfortable when he scored that 49. I think that was a gritty knock, and
Yeah.
chances were given to them purely because the Indian bowlers gave those chances. They never really exploited the soft spot or the magic spot on the pitch. Think on an extremely flat track for which is good for batting in Lords, which has always been a very competitive wicket. While you score around 300 runs as an average in your first three innings, you'd really expect the bowlers to always come back purely because the pitch will always support them if they bowl in the right spot.
Right.
And that is something that I feel the Indian bowlers have not done. That is something that I feel Virat Kohli has not exploited. Few things from that perspective I feel have not gone well for India. If they continue the same, the match is not even hanging in a balance. Today, England might come out as the stronger team to look like winning the test match.
Maybe that's a possibility, Salil. And Rory Burns, when he got out, I remember I was watching the game live and Sanjay Manjrekar was giving his, expertise as to what is his technique and how he is, how his technique is beneficial and as well as gets the downfall of his batting. The wicket that went of Rory Burns was exactly what Sanjay Manjrekar was saying. That his bat comes out from the gully side, and the
Yeah,
in swinging ball is always a difficulty for him. Salil, that's what Shami did. So do you think that people must have saw that and really implicated exactly what the experts were saying, and Rory Burns was exploited on his weakness?
Well, Shami, Shami would always do that, whether or not Sanjay Manjrekar would say that or no. But brilliant analysis by Sanjay Manjrekar, who's quite a knowledgeable cricketer, and I feel he's pointed out the right thing for the audience. And honestly, I feel Rory Burns does have to work on that technique of his, where the ball that is coming inside and his bat coming from gully, you don't give it the full face of your bat. You actually give it just a point of contact because purely how you're bringing the bat down. So
Correct.
I think that's something for him to work upon. But having said that, all credit to Shami for bringing the ball in, him understanding that this is the way Rory Burns plays. If the ball would cut inside, there's a very good chance that the bat might miss the ball and it might go onto the patch for an LBW. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. But all in all, I would say I think out of all the top three batsmen that we've seen in this Test series, Rory Burns looks like the guy with slight bit of promise, with a few things of a few limitations to take care of. I'm sure he'll be able to work on it and do well.
Definitely. Let's have a look at how he plays in the coming matches, Salil. But more importantly, what should be England's game plan from here? Because they are at a decent position, I must say. 119 for three. It's not a bad thing. It's obviously good that they've lost not many wickets. They've got 3, 4 batsmen yet to come with Butler, Bairstow, and Root obviously out there. So, what do you think the game plan should be for these batsmen? What must Joe Root be telling in the dressing room and the team talk exactly? What is their plans, Salil, according to you?
Well, I think they would take a leaf out of what India did yesterday and
Yep.
what they did. So they would want to avoid that kind of situation. How the day started, we're hoping about a huge score by India after three wickets down. They're pretty much in a similar position with your team's best batsman on the crease and an experienced Johnny Bairstow and the tail to follow. I think their technique would be only to avoid giving wickets. And if that is done, the runs will always come on a pitch like Lords. You will get your runs because the bad balls will be put away. And they always make runs in a fast outfield. So I think England would not want to give away their wickets and be too ambitious, like maybe a KL Rahul might have felt yesterday that, oh, that ball is there to drive. And pretty much in the first over on second day, and you lose out on that. So what you really want, what England would be hoping, what Joe Root and his team would be hoping, is not to make any of those mistakes that the Indian batsmen did, making life easy for the English bowlers. I mean, the last 7 wickets that fell were less than 100 runs,
Yeah. Yeah.
as compared to the promise that Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul had kind of displayed, that we might be up for something really big. So something disappointing from the middle order again
Yeah.
in Test matches by Indian batsmen, but then yes, capitalized by the English bowlers, and now the England batsmen are doing exactly what the Indian batsmen, the top three, top four, did. So
Right.
I think what India would really want to do here is stick to their guns and bowl slightly better with slightly better strategies than yesterday.
Yes, Salil. And moreover, what do you think that India did wrong yesterday? Because we were discussing a couple of things that this could have been done better. This was something that was not up to the mark as per Indian standards. So you think that something needs to change in the dressing room for Virat Kohli, and just that what went wrong for India yesterday in the end
But
1 hour of the game?
But I think not just the 1 hour. I think the entire time that they were bowling, they didn't really keep consistently bowling on the magic patch on the pitch, which is right around fullish length on good length. That's where the ball moves. It goes away from the bat, comes into the bat, and because it's not full enough, it doesn't allow the batsman to either drive or cut or pull. So I think the biggest thing that Indian bowlers have not done yesterday is consistency,
Yeah,
and they
good
need to
point.
be more consistent. The second thing I would feel from Virat Kohli's perspective is his captaincy when it comes to the field placing. There have been a few balls that have flown away in the slips, and at least, I mean, three or four have gone that we've seen live, and at least maybe a couple need to be picked up. And that's the difference that the test matches make, right? You have 540 balls bowled in a day, and you have
Yeah,
10 wickets to take. So you need to take those chances. And if you don't take those chances, either you've missed out on it, or two, you're not really ready for it, or you're not reading the game well. So I'm sorry to be overtly criticizing Virat Kohli and his captaincy, but that is what I really felt. It was a very, very loose effort by the Indian bowlers. I would feel they were spraying a lot, and when they were not getting the wickets, they were trying too hard by bowling it full on the legs of Brody Burns and Joe Root, who picked up a lot of boundaries in those areas. So all in all, I think they really need a kick up their backsides to really make this very very difficult for the England batsmen to make runs. They look like they come out to on a batting pitch in India when the ball is not going to do any bit, whether it's spin or pace, and that's exactly what's happened. And also the fact that Jadeja has not been so effective, so that again brings your team selection point into view. So a lot of things really, if you really want to dig in.
It's a lot to think about, Salil, and moreover, it's all right to be a bit critical about such things, because this is where the transition of captaincy has to take over between MS Dhoni, the thinker that he was, and Virat Kohli, that the energy that he brings to the team. Both of them were different. Dhoni was more of a thinking captain. Virat is more instinctive and on in the moment, I feel. So that is something that is very contrasting in these two personalities. But anyway, everything said and done. Salil, finally, what's your take on this session? How is it going to go for India? Do you think that now this message, this lovely message you've given out to Virat Kohli and Team India, will he be, listening to this and firing up the boys that, come on, we need to prove Salil wrong, and we need to ensure that in the next show Salil says that, well done, Virat Kohli?
Well, I think the adjustment is very well required. Whether it's done for me or no, it's only going to benefit India. If they
Right.
don't make this adjustment, you'll not be happy at the end of the session. If England keeps scoring with another 45, 35 overs of the older ball, they'll be more fluent in making runs. Joe Root is a stroke maker. Bairstow is a
Yeah.
stroke maker. Butler is a stroke maker. They can go at approximately three runs an over if they want to at will, if the
Easily.
Indian bowlers keep bowling the same way they bowled in the last session. So this session I feel is very very detrimental for India. Although they might be on top right now with a decent lead of more than 200 runs, so I think 245 runs. But this is not the match you need to give away, because England might take the entire day to make 250, and then India tomorrow, if England have more confidence, they might bundle out India and have a target of around 150 runs, which is easy to make.
Probably.
So you
Probably.
don't want to be in that situation. So before you go to that and jump to the second innings, you need to plan for this innings and make sure what have we done wrong. If we're bowling right, then why are we giving so many runs? Are we placing the fielders in the right places? Are we having enough patience for waiting for our bowler to take his wicket in the sixth or seventh over? Sometimes it takes a lot of time to set a batsman up,
Yeah.
and that patience is what is really required, which is really required by Virat Kohli and the team. So that said, I think there's no talent that we're short of. I think it's just about application, and application today will be pivotal.
Absolutely, Salil. The word you used, patience, earlier is very important, because in an interview after the first test, Jimmy Anderson said that very same thing. That someone asked him, why are you so successful in the longer format? So he said, because I'm very patient. I just, wait for the batsman to make a mistake rather than trying everything right up. So that is a very good point that you brought to light, Salil. Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. It was fantastic to discuss with you. I have a trivia question for you, Salil. You started this new thing where I ask you a good question and hopefully you know the answer about it. So I would like the fans also, for once, to write on the comment section if they know the answer of this. So the question to you, Salil, is name three players who have represented international cricket for more than one country. Three players who have played international cricket, be it Test, One Days, or T20s, for more than one country. Okay, so I'll know this answer later on. You can
Okay.
think over
All
it.
right.
You can
I
scratch
think
your
I
head
know
and
two
think.
of them. I think I know two of them.
Okay, we'll discuss the third one. You can take your time over it,
Absolutely.
and we'll have a good chat in the next session. Live action coming up in some time, everyone. Thank you for joining with me. This was Sports Adda Live.
Thanks, Yash.